I used to be, you know. We're back, baby. Looks like everybody's kind of coming in right now. Not sure what's going on.
Yeah, they're filtering in.
But people are filtering in here. I do have Quirky in here. He's going to do a little bit of casting alongside. Do you have a camera? Do you want me to throw your camera on here? Like,
oh, nah, man. I'm just audio. Chilling.
All right, we're just audio in it around here. I'm going to be the cameraman. I'm going to be focusing on controlling the camera here. I'll share it for, well, I guess it'd be better off if you just watch Weezy's.
Okay. Yeah, we can do either or.
Yeah, just watch Weezy's. That way you guys can communicate a little bit better. And then I'll cameraman it up. I think it's going to be starting sometime soon. I'll still be here. I'll just be.
Oh snap!
Maybe we'll trio it. Maybe we can trio desk this. I can anchor it a little bit, you know.
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah. That's fine with me.
Let's do it.
I don't mind. I'm already here. I'm on camera. I'm dressed. I got a shirt on.
What? G with a shirt on?
All you need to be an anchor right there.
Do you wear shirts?
Well, it's a sleeveless shirt.
There we go. That shit ain't no shirt ever.
Lee the editor. Yeah. I got a cat.
Aiko loves getting them 50% t-shirts.
That's how, dude. 50% t-shirts, but the cost is the same. My God, bro.
Jeez.
Dude, I don't know, man. My shoulders can't fit and stuff, man. I got my shoulders are too thick,
oh, shit. They call them boulder shoulder Aiko.
Boulder shoulder Aiko. Got my tank claw, chat. See this bad boy?
I know, man. I miss Tank. I need to get one from him.
He plays Diablo, man, all the time. I can always get you. You should chat with him, man. He's always playing Diablo.
Is he? He's been in his Discord.
He's been. I'm in like a little Diablo Discord that I started. I can probably.
Oh yeah, send me the invite. Yeah.
And then he's normally chilling in there. I do pay more for sleeveless shirts, but this shirt right here was like, I think like $35. I was like, Jesus, I'm paying for the color or something. I don't know. It's nice though. It's nice. You know, got some beaches on there. You know,
They look like Florida.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks like Basic is going to be playing again for the gold lane. He's in there, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I do see
BTK.
him.
Yeah, he'll be playing for ISO. You got Yato back, Joy Bosch. Chicken's gonna play XP in place of T.
Meow. So, got all my favorite people.
Yeah, Occident. How you doing, Occident? Right, sneaking by. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we got there goes best player. I haven't seen best players since NACT spring season, so Gosu Banana. Gosu Banana.
Hoon?
Is that Hoon?
I don't know.
No, Hoon's is Salamanca.
Salamanca.
Yeah. Oh, I got like a dog just going crazy in the back.
I think that's Quirky. It's Quirky.
No, Quirky.
Is that girl in the... Yes, it is.
You got Jenna Cakes. I don't know who that is either.
I didn't want to say the name because they kind of sounded sus.
Oh man, it's too late now. We can't go back. Let's just move forward with it. All right.
Go Soup Bananas General.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We're not starting that. All right, looks like we're jumping in. Here we go.
Rolling in, baby.
Your team is banning.
Oh my God!
All right, we're gonna three-man desk this. So it'll be myself alongside Inquirky and GD Aiko. So definitely be fun. We're looking at BTK going up against the Ohio brothers. It's gonna be the first time for us to be able to see the Ohio brothers in action in the professional scene. I mean, you see best player, he's over there. You're seeing some interesting names that I really wonder who they are. Promise is over there though, and they also got Hoon as well. So this is definitely gonna be a great match to see.
A great match indeed. Man, if I had to say there's one thing to watch out for here is fried chicken. Fried chicken, however you say his name. I always bully his name.
You say chicken.
I don't know, man. I don't typically look out for chicken. I go get chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I invite chicken.
Okay.
We love chicken.
What's going on?
Quad baked, grilled.
Yeah,
that's right. We're cultured.
But you got to definitely watch out for him. Definitely has been a in the EXP lane and bullies everybody in his lane. So definitely keep an eye out for that. They got rid of the Fanny. This is the typical BTK I like to see.
The Alpha got taken out as well. I saw Zane play that a little bit yesterday. Definitely not something that you want to see him pick up. It's kind of like that new Fred for him. Ain't it? The Alpha's a little dangerous in Moba Zane's hands. So definitely a nice respect man over there that way towards him.
Yeah, and you're going to see this Navaria taken off the table as well. Something kind of normal nowadays for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Taking out the Navaria, it's like having two junglers in one. I mean, we've seen really the most dominant Navaria so far, at least on the professional scene that I've seen, has been Boca Roscoe, and he's just been sniping everything left and right. So when you look at both of these teams, you definitely don't want to put that on the table in their hands because I can only imagine what they could pull off with it. I mean, we're looking at two powerhouses, right? I mean, we're looking at Hoon bringing back the Ohio brothers, and then we're also looking at BTK with one of the most stacked rosters I've ever seen them have.
Definitely stacked. I mean, Basic coming in for the sub again. Quite interesting, you know, like they did the 1-3-1 combo yesterday. It clearly seems like they might not want that right now, but we'll see what comes down. A couple bans coming out, getting rid of that Kaja. You know, to be honest, I liked Keyboy's his Kufra. If we see another Kufra gameplay, it could smell disaster for TOB.
Yeah, I mean, if we see another Kufra gameplay like the one from yesterday, kind of the forefront of the formation from BTK, yeah, I think anyone would be in trouble at that point up against that Kufra. It was a very hot pick for him. Maybe does he bring that into today for the day 2? Is he riding that same wave, Weezy? You think he can kind of pull it out, replicate that performance, and kind of be that menace, that Swiss knife for BTK here?
It's going to be interesting to say. I mean, this is a very stacked roster. I don't think I've seen, like, even BTK's backups are superstars at this point. Like, it's going to be hard. But, I mean, we saw the only one player able to really pull this off. That was Moba Zane, right, in the NACT Grand Finals for the spring season. He had 4 rookies, and he was able to penetrate the outplay and claim victorious in a game 7. So I'm not going to be that guy to say it's impossible anymore, because after seeing the impossible be possible, I mean, anything is out there for the taking. It just depends on how bad you want it. Now, I do think Hoon is definitely capable to be that player who can possibly shut him down, but he definitely has to come prepared, because we've been seeing BTK perform really well so far for the NABA Invitational, and they're currently undefeated.
Currently undefeated, that is for sure. And TOB has taken 2 defeats so far. So it's interesting to see. This is where, like, synergy is going to take a factor here. A lot of the people on BTK have been playing with each other for a while now, versus TOB's lacking just a little bit in synergy, it might seem. The Yeve getting picked up first. We see a ban being missed. I don't know if that was a technical issue or they just said, we're not going to ban.
I mean, hey, new strat unlocked in NA. It wouldn't be the first time something weird has happened over here, but they did lock in that E for the first pick. So they went straight for some backline security, some good zone control. Definitely going to be coming in handy when you're talking about taking over these neutrals, right? The 50-50s. Be able to step a little bit better with that RWM there on the Eve. But things are still on the board also to kind of go back into it. You know, Kadita is, oh, well, there it goes. There goes the Kadita that I was about to go ahead and say would be a great option in there. So I'm going to give myself a little high five on the air there, because that's a pretty good read.
Yeah, the Kadita is definitely a good pickup here. It can counter Yato on this Eve. He can rush in when the manipulation drops down, possibly knock him up and take him out, or it's a means of escape to get out of that 5x5 when it does drop down. And then you have Promise, right? He did lock on this Fredrin. We don't know if it's going to go in the XP lane or the jungle, but it can go both ways, giving them a little bit of flexibility in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm seeing here is that they're kind of like, they're gonna be like, yeah, you're not getting this MOBA, Fred. So Promise was able to pick up the Fredrin, but I do think that it could be a problem
for too long.
for TOB. Picked up pretty early. The Kadita is going to be pretty situational. Going to be able to dive in there, secure some damage on the Yeet, maybe even catch basic off guard, depending on how it's utilized. Again, we're talking about Hoon here, so I feel like it's going to be utilized pretty well. So we'll see how it goes, but I do like that that Franco pick, and maybe a Cho here.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the utilizing, right, taking the only other suppress option, and I definitely was going to look at potentially maybe this Kufra because they needed something to pair up with this Kadita. Kaja, they banned out themselves, so no room to be able to pair that up, whether it be a Kaja or Franco. So they have to go a little below. I think you go to the tier 2 for options with Kadita here. They're going in for the Kufra. It does seem, I would have to say, I think Baj is in a good spot here, for having, at least for the Rome matchup. Obviously, we know Cooper can be a menace. We saw him pull that off yesterday himself. But the suppression from Franco is such a strong tool, and they're able to lock that in for their carry for that single target that they're going to need. And I'd imagine maybe TOB wants that as well. They already have the Cooper, they have the Kadita. But the pairing with the suppression with Franco and Carry, I think you're always going to be able to win out when you're talking about that 1-2 combination for who can fulfill that pick off just a little bit smoother. The Bloody Hunt setup for your single marksman is all. I think it's always just going to be the upper hand there.
Yeah, but they did nerf Franco a little bit, right? That Bloody Hunt has a little bit of a 12-second cooldown added to what it used to be. They tried to make it more to where people would use his hooks more than that Bloody Hunt flicker combination, but I still think it's a viable option. But I think it's also respect to a best player being on the opposite side of the playing field, right? We know he kind of favors those assassins. I mean, you saw them take out the Fanny. Best player, one of the best Fanny players, I think we can all agree that we've seen in North America. And to be able to respect that, pull out the Franco for that suppression, it's going to put him in an awkward situation. So I think he may actually slot this Fredrin for himself and possibly slot something else in the back line to be able to get to that Eve. I mean, Yuzong is still on the playing field, so you can take up that Yuzong, use that Black Dragon, one of the most favored fighters so far. And there's also an Esmeralda on the table, and they did ban out that Uranus. But I think there was one skip ban, at least on my screen. The third ban. Oh, it is on yours too. I said last time I didn't see a battle spell, so I wasn't sure. So they did skip a ban, which means Esmeralda and Yuzong, two great fighters that could be slotted here. You could still put the Fredrin inside of the jungle, just having a way to get to the back line. And the Claude as well. The Claude can get to the Eve and also shut him down.
I think at this point, Zane might want to pick up a Karina. I mean, especially if they go Claude. I mean, being able to burst down Promise. Well, of course, that's going to be Hoon on the Kadita. And if they do fall in, get this Claude, I think that'd be decent. They are needing some bulk on BTK because the Franco's not too much of a front initiator. Can't really secure that front line. So we'll probably see something tanky from Chicken. Maybe something tanky from Zane. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, we were talking about the Claude, right, being a good option to find that back line on the Eve, but it's going to be hard to make that transition to that point because, again, there's still a carry in the gold lane. And she wins out that matchup on paper and lane at least. Later on, when you're talking about 5v5s, obviously Claude would have the upper hand. He is AoE. The Blazing Duet comes in handy while Carry's looking for the single targets. But you also have to realize not only is there a carry here, but Franco. We know where he's going to be the majority of this game. Looking to exert pressure on the side lanes, you can absolutely bet your bank account he's going to be hovering over Gen Cakes. He's going to be trying to help basic out, put him in some 1v2 situations, and try to capitalize here. It's not going to be easy for Gen Cakes to reach that condition where he can be able to just enter the back line on the carry or on the Eve. And even when he can, it's still a bloody hunt.
And looking at the pick so far being finalized for BTK, they're going to go ahead and lock up this Yuzong, take it away as an option for the side of the Ohio brothers. Now, best player, the question is, what is he going to run for the jungle, right? Do you take the Fredrin or do you go for something else and make that Fredrin run in the XP lane against the Yuzong? I mean, it's not the worst matchup. The Yuzong definitely can win it overall because he does have that life steal to be able to provide a longer fight. I mean, maybe you take the Brave Smite for the Fredrin to be able to get a little bit of that spell vamping effect, but best player kind of hovering around some options. It looks like he is going to possibly go for a jungle pick. So this is going to be a Fredrin in the XP lane. I think, okay, so this is the Roger. This is the first Roger that we've seen so far in the NABA, at least from group stage B and moving on to the playoffs today.
They are squishy. I was actually thinking maybe they picked Esmeralda, swap the Fredrin, because then Zane's going to have a tough time with the Paquito, but they didn't think that way. And now I think we're going to be getting into game 1 here of BTK versus TOB. I personally, BTK's draft is just looking too tough to me right now. I don't know if I can... There's just nothing to stop it. I mean, Roger's going to be constantly getting locked down. I mean, the only thing they can do at this point is out-damage BTK and maybe play position. But we will see as the game's loaded.
I definitely don't think they can match him with damage. That's a lot of bursts coming over. But we're heading into the first game between BTK and the Ohio brothers. Currently not in the greatest form here, but we got a great match and they can definitely bounce back. Will BTK continue the dominance, or will Ohio put a stop to things? Weezy, how do you feel?
I'm excited. I mean, this is the first time, at least for me and probably some others out there watching today, to see the Ohio brothers in action on a professional scene, right? We've been seeing BTK perform in multiple tournaments, local events, kind of spreading their name, and they've been also in meetups across North America as well. So they've been all over the place. But we feel like best player, he's kind of been tucked away. We don't know where he went. Maybe a character development arc, but hoping that he did some growing out there, and I can't wait to see how they perform against BTK, who's currently undefeated so far, and you're going to see that Iron Hook connect.
Connect, looking for a bit of a play there, but not going to be able to do too much. Just force the poke, pick up the litho, so a small victory for them, and all those little victories add up there to get a nice final score.
Yeah, final score as we Gen Cakes and Basic are just, I seen him off screen just kind of duking it out down there, both of them dancing around. Kind of setting the field here though. There's some crazy things going on, right? You know, we got best player on this little guy, and then I mean Moba, Zane now on Paquito. Who's gonna win this?
Well, I mean, you're looking at the Paquito, right? He does have the sustainability, but he did run for the killing spree since he's running in the jungle, so he doesn't have that Brave Smite that we've been seeing most Paquitos run so far. This may be the first Paquito that we've seen in the jungle for the NABA tournament as well. So it's definitely going to be something that could work in his advantage, but he has to get that kill in order to regain that HP instead of like regaining off of that Brave Smite with that spell vamp.
I mean, it's clear, right? He doesn't want to sustain. He wants to dish out pain, so the killing spree is optimal for him from Moba Zane. And honestly, if you've seen Moba Zane's Paquito, it's not really a bad call. He's definitely proficient on it. It could absolutely make that killing spree work out for him without the Brave Smite. But look at that. The turtle's been worked on from Ohio, but you can see the potential for the trade here coming from the side of BTK.
Oh, they're definitely thinking about it. I mean, I was a little confused at what was going down. I thought maybe a play was going to happen, but maybe Zane knows a little bit more about Paquito than the average player, right? Maybe he knows that he has to get secure a specific item before he can really start popping off and you know, get in there. Especially when you're dealing against a Roger, you're dealing with a Kadita. They're all playing pretty passive. You know, all of these decisions are going to be key into this mid game.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the mark, right? Zane is playing passive, doesn't want to make the first mistake. Given some respect over to the Ohio brothers, knows that they have the IQ, especially with Hoon on the team, to be able to make those big moves, and he doesn't want to be the one to make the mistake. I actually admire the patience right now. I mean, they're not too far down, so even losing that turtle, they're only down by about 100 gold. So, and we've seen it, right? We've been watching BTK for a decent amount of time now in the NABA, and even when Zane doesn't find the first neutral objective, his team makes up for it in the gold across the map.
Yeah, they sure do. And speaking of the map right now, best player in Ohio trying to put a little bit of pressure over there to Moba Zane. They know he's alone. They have decent vision here over the river, and right now, look at this forcing into the jungle, but an RWM drops down. Best player needs to be careful. Bosch flickers past the Tyrant Trade, goes for the Bloody Hunt, but it's going to be taken down by Salamanca with the rough waves. Basics low, and so is best player. But the worst case scenario for him, he's going to go down 1-1 in between both these teams. Fire reaction.
Hey, I gotta say, a tank for your jungle, I'll take that any day. I mean, that was a great play by BTK. It looked a little sketchy at first, but definitely leaning in the favor of BTK. But we got to keep a little bit of the eye on the gold lead here. It is leaning towards TOB, so that first turtle was a great play. Zane getting picked, though.
He's going to get knocked up on that trampoline. Oh, go ahead, Duck. You got it.
All alone, caught by the CC, but again, Moba Zane on the Paquito has the mechanics to get away. Fly Chicken with the Black Dragon. He has entered into the fray of things. It's not going to be too much impact. They're going to be down a huge ultimate for this turtle, though.
Yeah, going to be down a huge ultimate. You are going to go ahead and see them pulling the aggro, wasting no time. Best player trying to get this neutral objective, but the immobilization. RWM drops down, the knock-up airborne. Zane trying to get the objective, still sustaining himself. Promise with the Shaw Essence may fall, though. You're going to see best player pick up the turtle, and they're going to be able to dash out of there, but they're on the chase. Void Crystal does drop down. Not able to find Banana, but Zane is going to find Promise.
Yo. What intuition right there. Do you think he accidentally just dashed? He just needed to get that quick, flank, but then he ended up diving right into Handle and Promise, and now they're going to take a turret for it. Maybe even... Oh my god!
A little bit more. Is that enough intuition for you?
I think so. Oh. What do you think, Weezy?
I mean, that was a very powerful hit over there. And now on the bottom side, a knock up onto Joy Bosch is going to try and rotate over to the turret. Jin is going to try and strip it down, though. Joy Bosch by himself cannot stop him. And that is going to open up the map in favor for the Ohio brothers.
Definitely open it up nice for them. I mean, both teams, though, have a tower. As the concealed play gets called out. Oh, love, do they know something we don't? They try to use their own intuition, but it doesn't work out the same there, G.
Definitely didn't work out the same there. But I do got to say that they might need to be swapping lanes at some point, because Basic might have a little bit of trouble in this bottom lane now with the carry. It's going to be rough. Looks like they might want to show a little bit of pressure up here, as the lane swap already happened for TOB. So this is what I was suspecting. But Franco.
Good bloody hunt. Joy Bosch will go ahead and pick up that kill. That's a nice 1-kill advantage. And are they looking to pressure in the mid? No. Just looking to back away here for a second. I thought they were going to go ahead and commit to that. They did. What is Zane doing? Gets caught by the Tired Revenge. He's going to be bursted out. Goes to Banana. He's going to make him slip and trip on that in the mid lane.
Moba sleep is what I say.
Yeah, Zane caught out of position, takes his first death so far in this game, 2-1-2. But best player is 0-2-2, right? I mean, he hasn't been having the best start. Zane is out farming him, and he did hit level 10 before he did as well. But the battle on the way in the turtle pit.
And right now, they are looking for the engage to go to the Black Dragon from Fly Chicken, but it's not going to be enough. Salamanca's going to take him down. Bodge might be next after him, narrowly escaping Iron Hook into the bush, but it's going to miss the mark. But speaking of miss the mark, Turtle has been found by Ohio brothers. Looks like it's going to be free, but hang on. Zane, if he has anything to say about it, he's going to wisely back off, though.
They're trying. They're trying. I want to say the biggest problem that it does seem like BTK is having is that Basic's not able to scale here. He went with the Purify, I'm guessing to, counter Banana and Salaman. So we'll see, but they're doing so well at just taking objective after objective from BTK.
That's going to put them in lead in terms of turrets, right? Now they have one turret advantage. They took both of the first ones on the side lanes. BTK is a little behind in terms of the farm. I mean, they're up by 2,000 gold. A couple of core items being picked up. You are looking at Cakes picking up that Demon Hunter Sword alongside that golden staff, increasing that attack speed, and also able to burst down the heavy HP opponents across the river. But on the other side of the table, Carry did pick up that Corrosion Scythe and the Golden Staff as well. So we're definitely looking at some high attack speed from both of these marksmen.
Look at Ghost of Banana. Charges up, lands a huge double knock up. The RR combination. Salamanca follows it up. The mid laner and the gold are going to get a piece of that action. 2 kills unanswered. What can you do about that? And they're going to look for more. Finding space for that tier 3 in the mid lane. It's going to be huge for them. That means the jungle's in trouble for Moba Zane and company.
This is like dominoes right now. The towers are just falling one after another, and they're just collapsing. The team's cohesion is amazing right now for TOB. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I mean, anything could happen. BTK is a little far behind in the gold lead, but I still think one Lord can make it or break it for a team. And if anybody can do it, it's Zane.
And I think Zane, they're not used to being in the back end of a match, right? We've been seeing them kind of dominate so far in the NABA, but I think this is the first team to really give them a slight challenge. I mean, you're looking at really the glue behind the spine of this book being Hoon. He's sitting 3-1-1 on this Kadita, and he's also got this lethal ignition for that additional damage. Everybody caught in his crosshairs will easily be bursted down. And as we are seeing both teams getting ready, pulling the aggro in the Lord Pit, it looks like this may go to the side of the Ohio brothers with no contest.
It is going to be no contest, it looks like, but hang on. Maybe Bosch going a little bit of vision. But I think they realize it's too risky. He's going to get caught out as well by the Tyrant's Revenge. Not going to be able to follow up with a kill, but they already got the Lord, so they got exactly what they wanted so far.
And I gotta point out here, right? BTK, they have the Eve, so I think base defense is secured for them. Really, right now, the only person that's kind of behind is Chicken. Chicken hasn't been able to really excel to get anybody, and that could be a major factor of that. There's just not enough vision captured on the map for him to make key plays that he needs to do. So they need to play passive here. Defend. They have the utility to defend. Just take it and then hold it.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't agree with you more. And they're going to go ahead and start trying to take this tier 2 turret. The Iron Hunt's going to connect. Progression. Bloody Hunt goes down. Best player going to claim the turret. Basic going to find Gosu Banana. But look at best player trying to get another. Is going to pull his punches. Overall, they got what they came for, though. Able to take that turret, and you are going to see this Lord pushing on the top side.
Let's try getting a little bit more than they wanted down here on the bot side. They're looking for the 1v2 using the Ice Retribution, but Chicken gonna be able to escape. He ain't been able to find kills a lot. He hasn't died too much either his own stuff. Only offered up 2. But look, down on the bot side, he's still got a lot of focus here. They want this tower desperately. They're not gonna back away. Flickering again. Why Chicken the BBD? He's trying to unload onto Ohio brothers. He's found a target to look out. Hoon is in trouble, but he's gonna dash right over the wall. So again, why Chicken not able to find anyone here in the engagement?
Definitely spelling rough for Fried Chicken on BTK, but
Hook! The Bloody Hunt suppression. Petrify! Basic is gonna find Banana. Wait, the battle's still on the way. Jenna joining. Wait, is gonna find Basic. Keyboard really low. Jenna gonna take down Keyboard's Joy Bosch is out of the battle.
Just Zane.
He's going out for Zane. A triple kill. Is going to be picked up from Gina, and mid lane is going to fall. Zane all by himself on an island with a full team of the Ohio brothers, and Gina's going to shut him down.
No minions!
But they don't.
No minion.
They have the recall power to speak. Minions are trying their best to get their 6 seconds, and so anybody spawns in for BTK, and they have done it. The Ohio brothers claims game 1.
Absolutely. Was that I asked now? Was anyone expecting that game 1?
I mean, no. See, TOB lost a Black Odyssey. So
sometimes it's a scaling of who you face, right? You play up to par with your opponent, I guess. But wow, Ohio opening it up with a banger. Honestly, I know he didn't get the MVP here, but I feel like Ghost of Banana really set the pace for this team. I know Salamanca got a little bit of praise, but that man was going crazy with the sets. All right, it wasn't Bosch, but it was enough. It was enough to help him. I mean, Ghost of Banana, can you feel the peel? We trademarked that one. Now that was good.
Okay. Nah, it was a good game.
It was a great game. You know, I think overall they kind of executed for the most part where they needed to. I think move over to the lobby scene. I think the biggest thing was Moba Zane. He got comfortable, right? He was able to get his farm. He was able to rotate around. I mean, he got MVP for BTK. On the other side of things, best player, he was having a little bit of a harder time. I really feel like this was more of a team effort. Just overall across the board, they were able to pull it off. I mean, the sets from Hoon were there when they needed to be. The late game was picked up by Jenna Cakes on point with the Blazing Duet at the end to be able to stack up those kills and pretty much shut it out. And that's what you're supposed to do as the gold laner. So props for them to be able to take that. But this is the best of 3, right? BTK, we know they're a team that can play at this level. like I said, this is probably the first time they've had some hard competition, or I mean, at least that we've seen somebody give them a little bit of a pushback to take the first game. They've been undefeated so far, but it looks like the Ohio brothers is able to strike down that record.
Yeah, it does look like that we might have something going on in the chat here. It looks like Ohio brothers are not in the VC. So not sure if maybe some of these players are not who they seem. So right now,
that'd be crazy.
so the host is forcing them to get into VCs on the NABA server. So we might have a little second of a delay while we get this situation sorted out.
Well, I don't know. Is that like disrespectful or a compliment to be playing so good? Someone's like, now wait a minute. That ain't you, boy. Get in VC. Let me hear you. You're overperforming right now.
Well, you sound like a redneck that's like hosting a house party.
You know, I think it's been a long time since you've been around a redneck.
I don't know. It just sounded like it to me. I don't know.
You want me to sound like a redneck, brother?
Ring the bell.
I can give it to you. Ring the bell. Let's get it on.
That sound like Franco.
Not the Franco.
Come here, cuz. One shot, one kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know you were getting all this from casting experience. This is free.
This is free. the Quirky X Aiko X Weezy experience.
Yeah,
that's a lot of X's, longer than my list. Sheesh.
So guys, it's a best of three. Man. So BTK's not out yet. It's a best of three. They lost the first game, so I mean, they're still now. If they lose this next one, then yes, they will be knocked out. No, they'll be knocked down to the lower bracket. So whoever loses this one is going to be going up against who do we see that lost last, or Team Ace. So whoever loses this series still has a second chance. They'll be going up against Team Ace in the lower bracket.
Lower brackets.
Yeah, that's where it gets spicy, right? I mean, last time we seen Team Ace go up against BTK. Actually, no, we've seen them go up against them in the NABA, right? Did they go up against each other? Yeah, they did. They were both in Group B. And BTK took them down. So, you know, they definitely got to run for their money, whoever goes to that lower bracket. I mean, even if it's the Ohio brothers going up against Team Ace, they better be prepared, because the Ohio brothers pulling out something out of their bag, man. They were down so far. They've been taking losses in the NABA, but able to take down the undefeated team. It's definitely something to be proud about.
No, exactly. I mean, it's one loss on BTK. You know, we'll see how things keep and continue here. A lot of people are saying Jenna Cake is Gina. Still don't know who
Gina
Gosu Banana. Yeah, don't know who Gosu Banana is though.
Yeah, good. Have a fun time guessing that one. I don't know, man. You never know what these names are.
I think Faithful just said it's Shark.
Oh, is it Shark?
Is that Shark confirmed there?
Interesting.
Faithful, could you say it again?
Someone know why Zane is playing with Basic? Well, the Valley disbanded. Yes, was it yesterday? I don't know when it was, but they disbanded. Yesterday. It was yesterday. So yeah, they disbanded yesterday, and I mean, he still wants to play professionally, so he just has to go to you know, the next best option that he has currently lined up for him, and it looks like that was BTK. So I don't know if he's going to be with BTK for the long run. I mean, Zane will probably have to confirm that for you guys on his stream. I know he was trying to find his roster for the NACT fall season, but nothing is established for who's the official rosters for, I want to say, any of these teams yet for the NACT fall. So, but this is a good chance for them to kind of test the waters and see who they want and who they don't, right? So maybe you guys can voice that opinion and kind of pick who you guys like out of all these different roster changes. I mean, we've seen Chicken and T playing together on the same roster on BTK. So, like, it's a powerhouse over there, man.
T now.
Maybe
get T back in.
Yeah, the 1-3-1 was crazy. It was that was a crazy 1-3-1 composition.
I really think. Look, I hate to be. I just couldn't let it go. Okay, the field appeal. I think that needs to be a hashtag. I feel like everyone should be saying field appeal. Feel the peel next game. From Gosu Banana, that's a bar.
Feel the peel.
Gosu Banana, feel the peel. Like, what? That was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, he even made Moba Zane slip and trip on that pill. He hit right in the middle and caught him on the wall. He said, he threw a banana on the floor, had him looking like a Mario Kart
I
little
was
race.
about to
Made him
say
slip.
when we
Right to
turn
the
into
wall.
a
Damn.
Nintendo game.
Hey man, hey, they out there slipping bananas on the track. G. Oh, feel the pill, ladies and gentlemen.
Hoon was
pill.
Salamanca. That was Hoon. He was Salamanca.
Salamanca.
I think that's how you say it. Yeah, a lot of crazy names, man. Trying to go incognito.
Salamanca.
I don't.
El Salamanca.
Jesus.
What's my
Banana
prediction?
Shark.
I want to see it go all the way to a game 3, so I'm hoping that BTK takes this game, this next one. I don't like seeing sweeps, and they're definitely a team that can take it all the way to the final mile.
We have 3.
And now a lot of people kind of giving a little bit of steam
Okay,
to chicken
so-
on the YZ. Right.
So it's Shark and Zia, not Gina. So TOB has a stacked team right now.
Yeah,
It's Shark
yes, they
and
do.
Zia.
The fact that Shark
Holy.
is back on BTK is pretty nuts. He's pretty good. I can't wait to see. Like, I don't know, man. That's like that's a full 9 roster, bro. Like,
Yeah.
how do you shut that down, bro?
Interesting. Apparently
Zia.
that is what it is. It's Shark and Zia.
Pills and kills.
Peels and kills. I mean, that's why that Kufra was so on point, right? That Kufra was making
makes
plays. And I mean that's top NA Kufra right there. Also Zia. Oh shit, they're actually 0-0. It's a 0-0 game right now. They're
making them
that last game's not real.
Dang.
TOB is
That's
taking
crazy.
it is now 0-0 because
Wait, so who did they?
we didn't know who they were playing against.
I mean, it's fair, right? I mean, rules are
It is.
rules. You have to be in VC for people to be able to validate you are who you say you are. It doesn't really matter if you're the #1 player or not. No matter what game you're playing, like, you got to follow the rules in the tournaments. I mean, that's just respect to the organizer to make sure that they do it, because you want to make sure it's fair across the board. So it looks like we're going to redo that match then. And we're not going to waste any more time, guys. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. But this is going to be, again, game 1, BTK going up against the Ohio brothers.
This is gonna be awkward. You thought you had the advantage on BTK, and now you got to reset. I mean, this is a dangerous position. Moba Zane is over there like, Nani? You lied to me. Looking to spin the block.
What's your command?
I mean, when you're playing against a team, I mean, in pro players like this, that's something that like you should know, right? Like if you're going against Shark or Zia, you should know you're actually going against Shark and Zia. And you know, and that can be the difference maker on what they decide to play, because now they kind of like they know what they're going against. They at first they were thinking they were just going against some people they didn't even know, you know. And I mean, if anybody in the tournament scene knows who they're playing, it's definitely Zane. Zane really can tell who he's playing by people's play styles. He's played with many of these people.
Yeah, I mean, we can't confirm or deny who was who, but what we can say is they weren't in VC, so that's they obviously have to forfeit that match. It's just unfortunate they weren't able to catch that like the first like 5 minutes of that game. But anyway, circling back around, guys, this is going to be interesting to see nonetheless. I mean, that means we get to see more BTK and more of the Ohio brothers. So I mean, I'm not complaining, right? I've got my notes out. I'm taking, I'm checking these teams, seeing how they play, and now we know one thing for certain: they are who they say they are, since they're all still inside of this game, ready to fight it out again.
Well, let's see if revealing their identity is going to change things. I mean, do they go from Superman and back to Clark Kent, or Batman to Bruce Wayne? Like, does this change things? Like, now they're like, I know who you are. I can see you clearly. You can't pull off this superhero shenanigan stuff anymore. Because again, they were up 1-0. So this is rough because in the best of 3, all they had to do was get one more game, but now they got to win 2 all over. That's going to be rough, and I don't know if BTK is going to let that happen.
True. I mean, we'll definitely see how it plays through here. I mean, bans are kind of looking typical like they were last time, so I don't know if maybe they're gonna do same pick, same draft, just remake because they know who they're facing. I don't know. We'll see here. It'll play out. It'll be interesting to see. But I do think knowing the identity is going to gonna make a play. It's gonna make a play. But they're not doing the same draft. It's not doing the same draft as they banned you.
I mean,
they don't want that.
We'll see what happens. It's we'll definitely be able to tell with this next match. But as we are looking at the ban so far, first half has been finished for the side of BTK. They're going to go ahead and take out this Fanny, respect best player, take out the Navaria as well alongside that Eve. They know they're going against Hoon, one of the best mid lanes in Mobile Legends Bang Bang North America. But they do have Yato, right? Yato is also a fierce problem if you don't leave him checked. But we saw Hoon kind of dominate with that Kadita. He was really what started it off in the early game for the side of the Ohio brothers. So I wonder if BTK will go ahead and take that out or pick it up so that he can't slot that in and create that early game presence that we've seen in the first match.
Wondering indeed. I mean, the Eve getting banned out now. I actually am curious to what they go for. Wow. Kibosh. Kufra. First pick. Write it down. Respect it.
Kibosh said, listen, Shark, you think you're #1 Kufra? I'm #1 from the NACT. What are you going to do about it?
Ooh, bang, bang, bang. Shots fired. Gee, the Aiko.
It's funny because he slotted in. Didn't he slot in the Kufra first last time too? I thought he did. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this goes with the Kufra. It's dive potential, especially with Joy Bosch over there. I mean, he's been on point lately with these sets. But they're going to go ahead and lock in this R-Lot for the side of the Ohio brothers, and there it goes again. Hey, if you leave it, might as well take it again. It was a problem for y'all before. It'll be a problem for you again.
I think. Oh,
okay.
I thought they would go for the Kadita again. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think I would have let that through and just went for the Kadita there. I'm not sure. I don't really agree with that pick, but Zane's gonna get his Fredrin. So we're back to old habits. We couldn't escape it for too long. The Walking Petrify will come back out. Basic currently being hovered. They need a gold laner. Do you think they rush one? Do you think they go for a Beatrix? Go for a Claude here, or maybe even the carry again?
I mean, it would be an interesting play here. I don't know if they'll maybe want to go for a gold laner so fast. They might go. Well, there you go. It wasn't a gold laner. It was a mage. Yeah, they said, I'm going to take the Kadita this time.
Yeah, that's why I don't really agree with picking up the Faramis right there. I mean, you could have took that Kadita yourself. It really literally led them in the early game with Hoon slotting that in. But, I mean, he may have a possible plan. He did hover over it, and he decided that Faramis was more of the answer they were looking for. So I can't wait to see where this composition goes. They do have the R-Lot. We didn't see the R-Lot in the last game, and R-Lot has been a problem. One of the best XP laners with today's current meta in the season. So it can be a possible problem. But now we got to kind of put some eyes on Yato and see what he's going to pull out with this Kadita.
Your team is banned.
3,000 worlds.
Martis.
And not a single worthy foe.
Man, honestly, I wonder how this goes because now they can just focus out a bit. I feel like anything that's uncomfortable for the R-Lot and XP right now. Or maybe they could go ahead and limit marksman. They do get the first pick out of this. So whatever they limit, they're going to get to take first dibs out of the pot when we transition into that second half of the pick phase. So it'll be interesting to figure out what they go for. I'd imagine maybe you just go for, maybe you target basic here. I feel like Chicken's pool is deep enough where it might be a waste to try to ban him out. Maybe focus on the basic lane, his role.
Yeah, I mean, maybe controlling and keeping the gold lane, but I think that kind of, and that's like a double-edged sword, right? Like now you're also limiting your own picks at this point. I mean, we know who Basic is, so the Melissa's a pretty great ban because we know Basic excels at Melissa, but we also know Zia is really good at Wan, and we really haven't seen Wan at all in this current meta.
Yeah, we haven't really seen the 1-1 too often. I don't think we've seen it once inside of the NABA. But when you're looking at the side of BTK, they're very sustainable right now, right? You have the Kufa who can dive, strong frontline presence. Zane running his comfort pick on that Fredrin, the Moba Zane, the Mobile Fred, as some may call it, can be a possible problem. Now, it is a Martis. Martis does have those the mortar coils for the anti-CC, can kind of get away from Yato, especially when he drops in and tries to catch him in those rough ways. But he does have that Petrify. He is going to try and get some initial setups to kind of lead the way, but they need some late game damage. So I want to see what they put into the hands for basic in the gold lane.
You know, I'm sitting here wondering, and they ban out the Granger. So, I guess that you can't really bet on the Fredrin going into the jungle anymore. He has been flexed to the XP. A lot of marksmen have been banned out here, though. And again, Ohio will get the first dib out of what remains. You were talking about the Wan that is available. Would you run it into the Kadita and Kufra, though? I feel like that's a rough...
Probably not.
Yeah, that's a rough thing to do. I don't think they can go for that one there. What if they
Brody.
go for a marksman? What could Brody
Would be a good pick.
It's a dive
Yeah, you
composition.
could go for a Brody here.
You can
Well,
knock them back.
also, TOB is also going to be together quite a bit because of the Faramis. So a Brody would be a pretty good pick here. I've actually felt like Brody's been on the higher end of the marksman spectrum in this current meta. So there's a lot of marksman's banned, but it's definitely a possibility anywhere. Beatrix is still open too.
The end of one thing.
Yeah, Beatrix is open. Definitely a sniper that you don't want to let the enemy team get. We've been seeing Beatrix picked up pretty much every single game, and there it goes, G, manifesting it into reality. It is going to be picked up from basic alongside the Esmeralda. Now, Diggy does give shield, right? I believe when that time journey does proc, everybody gets shield that's inside of it. So Esmeralda will profit inside of those 5v5 engagements. But another sniper that we've been seeing across the land of Dawn being a threat lately is the Leslie, and Jenna Cakes is going to slot that up. So, guys, we have the finalized rosters for both sides. What you thinking?
I don't know, man. This Esmeralda, great pick against the Diggy Deku. Or Quirky, my bad.
Yeah, it'll take a little time to transition. I definitely agree with that. But the Dig, and I was gonna point this out that I felt like Diggy would be strong, but I know the last time I saw Shark play this Diggy, it didn't go too well. He's a very aggressive roam, so picks like these, he doesn't always shine the best because he's not the aggressor, right? He's more defensive at this point, more reactive, where we normally see Shark take the fight to opposing teams. So while I do feel like it's a great pick, is it a great pick for Shark? That's going to be the question I'm going to leave in the air there for this composition.
Yeah, it's definitely the question in the air. Is now we are jumping into game one, the re-game one between BTK and the Ohio brothers. Who will be able to claim victorious? We are looking at best player running on the Martis, Moba Zane, rocking the Moba Fred with his hands in his pocket, a flashy entrance. Who can claim this first game? This amazing best of 3 in the NABA Invitational Playoffs.
Trying right now. They are going for so they're trying to give that advantage over to the Esmeralda. They want to get active on the map. Already rotating over, catching out. Oh no!
I think we're having a little bit of mic issues. But moving forward,
Deku's stuck in the dryer.
he went in the tunnel for a little bit. But he was talking about the rotation. I heard a little bit of it with the Esmeralda. They're definitely grouping together, waiting for an initial pickoff. It is interesting to see the Esme cut that lane and now rotating to the mid as well. That is Fried Chicken, though. We do know he definitely has something up his sleeve. I mean, last time you seen Chicken on this Esmeralda, G, I mean, you can definitely tell them. We literally watched him 1v4.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a bully in the EXP lane. So we'll have to see how it plays out into this game. But there is a clash happening here a little bit, but I don't think they have enough minions to be able to do anything with it. It was interesting to see that rotation early on in the game. Normally we see Chicken really control and push his lanes in farther and bully the XP, but he was trying to help out in the mid lane on that lethal. So I want to see what they can possibly pull through here in this first game.
Yeah, something they can pull out here.
There we go.
I don't know. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good. I hear you.
I think I'm good. All right. Nice. Zane, though, being spotted out, getting hit by the reverse time. So the thing with this, right, they do have some good poking with the Faramis and the Diggy. They can definitely chunk out some HP bars, but look at Chicken on the Esmeralda kind of taking that back as well. Aggro's currently over there to the side of OP here, the Ohio brothers, but the fight's breaking out.
Yeah, Zane is going to claim that turtle, the taunt onto MPL player. Joyboss is going to draw first blood for BTK. They got what they came for, a kill and the first neutral objective.
That's good. I like their positioning in this one. I do think that dual supports are going to play a big factor in how well or bad TOB does. I mean, it's all just going to depend on how well they're utilized at this point. I do think that Basic is probably going to win his lane here in the gold lane against a Leslie. But coming into the late game, I feel like a Leslie is definitely going to excel. As you can see, they're utilizing the Leslie's ultimate to get vision everywhere. And then they cancel it out. Man, I love Leslie's ultimate.
I definitely agree with you about that late game thing. It does become a bit of an issue. I will say, though, it's hard to still pull off, though, just because of the fact, you know, she's so susceptible to CC. But they do have the Diggy. Speaking of Diggy, we'll be able to save him here.
Is going to use the time journey to gate that Tyrant's revenge, but here comes Jato. Alter being activated to cancel out the damage. Basic is going to find best player in that trade. The jungler falls for the Ohio brothers.
It was a good set. It was a good set. I mean, the time journey almost stopped the Kufra, but it wasn't enough. And then we already can see what's happening on the bottom lane. The bully, the one and only Zane, the dynamic duo. Gonna take the first tower, maybe? Nah, they need minions.
I was...
I thought it was gonna be more climactic than that.
I was honestly like, I was gonna say, I was like, wow, this is a lot of glaze for just hitting the tower.
You know, I had to glaze it.
I was like, he didn't even get it.
I know, and then I was like, damn,
you Krispy Kremed it too early there, G.
The caster curse, bro.
Oh man. Jokes aside, though, Turtle currently being pulled into favor, right, for the Ohio brothers right now. Zane's gonna be a little late to the party. I don't even think he's gonna be able to make it in time on the Fredrin, and now he's being zoned out there by the R-Lot. So definitely gonna be going to the hands of best player, but still things in favor for BTK. They still have a decent gold lead here, at least 1K in their favor.
Yeah, and I mean, that started off with Chicken and Zane on the bottom side. They stripped all the gold off that turret. I mean, the gold plating is still on the turrets, but that one's standing at about like 15% HP, and Chicken's definitely looking to take it down. You know, the R-Lot at a disadvantage right now, but he's going to use that final slash on the Chicken, trying to zone him out from taking this turret.
They definitely want that bottom turret. I'm pretty sure with how much poke and peel he has, he's going to get it. The retry by Zane, though. Wasn't able to get it.
Wasn't able to get it, but he is on the chase on the best player. Hit with the mortal coils.
Ooh.
Oh, they're committing.
Dynamic duo.
Hold altar. They're looking for it. Double D's. Never let me wrong, brother. Finds the kill. Definitely a good play from them. R-Lot with the final slash. Not going to find the mark, but look at this pincer maneuver. They got Leslie in a bit of an issue, but he's going to go ahead and use the invisibility and leave the safety of the tower. Was this the right call? The knockback. Hold up, he's actually surviving, but no, Basic finally going to take him out with all that advanced movement there. They pulled Chicken into the tower, and now he's showing his power with the Esmeralda. He found one. Can he pick up two here? The rest of the team is around. Faramis, he's got to pull an illegal move. That's not fair. But Tyrant's Revenge is going to catch R-Lot. They're going to be able to pick up 2 of those 3 members. And what a quick turnaround there from BTK.
Yeah, quick turnaround indeed, right? 7-2 on the board so far, leading by 5 kills, 6 minutes in, and also leading by 3,000 gold. When we're looking at these items and also looking at the gold stacked on both sides, you are going to be seeing Basic with more farm than Gino right now. He does have about 1,200 more gold, and he already has some of those core items built up. He has the Blade of Despair. You are seeing Gino with the Berserker's Fury, though, with the battle in the mid-river with the knock-up.
Uh-oh. Didn't work this time. Final slash. No dynamic duo this time. This is disaster and depression from that combination. One-man advantage.
Got fried.
He definitely got him fried. That's what came first, the chicken or the egg. we know he's not coming first. But look at this. Colt Ultra gets forced out. The fight has ensued. Nice final slash. Sets up a couple members, but where's the follow-up? Menace Raid is going to miss the mark. Best player finds the turtle. Save the turtles. If he's going to go ahead and find Kadita there. Going to send her down under the sea. Moba Zane in a bit of a 1v3, but it doesn't matter. 1v1, 1v3. Call 911. Basic picks up a double kill. And they turn that around after losing the turtle. BTK still in it, leading 2K.
Yeah, BTK hasn't lost a single turret so far. I mean, they're sitting strong, getting everything they want out of this game. Looks like the right call was getting everybody inside of that VC. I don't know what happened, but they're having a great match so far. And it's funny because typically when you're not on comms, you would think you would perform worse. But it's looking like it's the other way around so far. You know, BTK definitely having a great game. Moba Zane able to get these objectives. 014 hasn't got a kill, but that's not really what he's here for, right? He's here to soak up that damage. You are looking at him picking up that concussive blast alongside Joy Baj. And on the other side, right, the only really sustainability in terms of core emblems that you are looking at is Brave Smite over on ML Player 1 running that R-Lot.
And I mean, it can play off. It can play off on the R-Lot, you know? But when you're going against Chicken on his Esmeralda, it's quite devastating. BTK choking this bottom turret to secure it, and now they're going to continue on. Are they going to get this mid turret? I feel like that's what they're going to be working on next. They got 39 seconds until the next Lord.
And they got a full wave and a lot of members here. Look at the charge up from Baj. He can find this. He's not going to jump in, though. Yeah, the retry does help them. They clear out the waves. Not going to be able to crack open that mid tower yet. But I'll tell you what, G, when it does fall, it's going to cause a lot of issues. We saw it happen to BTK last game. If they can put that pressure onto the Ohio brothers, we're going to see the same effect happen. Look, they're going for the pincer movement again, potentially. But they're going to let go of the falling star move. They didn't want to force this engage.
Yeah, didn't want to force the engage. Playing a little bit more passive. They realize they have the objective so far, and they're leading in this game. They don't want to make a mistake and let it turn back against them, especially with this new emblem system. Everything can change in the blink of an eye, right? We're only 9 minutes in, leading 9-5, 4 kills ahead for BTK, and they're going to focus on this objective. They're going to now make work of this first Lord.
It's funny, they opt to give the Lord up just for Moba Zane's red buff. Interesting neutral trade.
I don't know if that's a trade. I feel like that's like a one-handed tactic. Oh no, they're committing here on the Carlos. So picking up that orange buff may not have been worth it. The Mortal Coils comes out. Oh,
there comes
no way,
Zane.
Moba Zane, the roadblock. Where are you going? Kibosh picks up the kill.
Still my
and
red
again,
buff
G,
again,
like you,
boy.
You don't steal that. He beat him like he stole something for real. But this time, G, like you said, that neutral trade, not really worth it.
No,
yeah,
that was a little fishy, Weezy. A little fishy.
Yeah, fishy indeed. I mean, we're scratching our head on what did you really gain from that outside of a death. And you're looking at the map bleeding for the side of BTK right now in their favor. This is definitely a time for them to close in on this remaining turret for the mid and the top side, as we are going to see this Lord make quick work toward the lane, toward that inhibitor. And right now, you're not really seeing the Ohio brothers having any answers.
I mean, it's really hard to push back with this composition. You're really waiting, right, for BTK to make their play. But if the timing's not right, you get punished. Best player that was taking a bit of damage gets caught by the energy eruption. Kadita, a little bit of damage as well. Time Journey came out to help them. They were able to clear out the minions in the mid lane, but hang on, they're not done. Conceal play, they want more. They're going to go ahead and commit all the way in. Charging behind the wall, no dive. I was actually wondering what they commit. They did burn out the Diggy ult, so if they would have landed something, it could have been dangerous.
No, yeah, definitely would have spelled something. Would have spelled something, that's for sure. I thought they were going to fully commit, but they might be going again.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to go in again for this tier 2 in the mid lane. Can they get it, though? All members are present in this engagement. Pass goes out for the final. Jenna is going to find Yato. Reverse time, pulling Joybot back in. Gosu, Banana, Shark is going to go ahead and take that kill as well. 2 members falling for BTK. And this is what we said with the new emblem system. With the way these games have been going, anything can change in the blink of an eye.
All right, that's exactly what just happened. A blink of an eye. Milo looking for the high performance there. Great setup, and they really need that, especially since he's really the only initiator from the team. A well-placed final slash puts them where they need to be Otherwise, they're playing, like we said, that reactive style, letting BTK kind of find their mark. BTK, it's really hard to pull out this kind of composition with the Diggy because BTK is in the team you want to let patiently be able to decide how they want to engage you. But speaking of engage, Moba Zane wants to defend this tower, but it looks like they want to group up and get him out of the way. They're going to pull him back with the Shadow Stampede. He's going to be held down by the reverse time. The Appraiser's Wrath goes down, but it's not going to do too much damage. Nibru's Passion comes out. It'll be enough to make them back away and think twice about this push.
I thought it was Moba Zane against the world right there. Basic coming in clutch, being able to push back all of TOB was a great play. We're going to be coming in for the next Lord here. BTK having a little bit of the tactical advantage as they're setting up. The snipes are hitting and dealing a ton of damage. Uh-oh. Fried Chicken's going in.
Yeah, trying to take down Banana. I mean, taking a lot of that shield away from him as well. We kind of mentioned that with that time journey. Gonna help Chicken kind of profit right there. Zane is gonna claim this Lord, which means they do have that neutral objective in their favor. And when you're looking at the Ohio brothers, right, they're only holding on to that tier 2 turret in the mid lane, and then they're stripped down to their inhibitors, right? With this Luminous Lord in play, definitely a good start for BTK to make a way to open up their base.
It does indeed open up a good way for that to happen. I mean, speaking of opening up things here, right? Not a single tower still has been taken down from the side of Ohio, but taking a look at these items, take a little moment to look at it. Something interesting to note, no lightning trunch still here from Salamanca. He opted for the Necklace of Durance. Do you guys feel like maybe they're overcompensating a bit? Should they have not just went for some more damage? I mean, Milo already has a Dominance Ice. Shark has a Necklace of Durance himself, and then even Best Player has a Dominance Ice on the jungle Martis. So did he really need to opt in for more utility? Could he not have just went for more damage here?
I don't know. I think they're a little scared of Chicken at this point, from what I'm seeing from items wise. But only truth will tell if that gamble will pay off as the Lord is clashing.
Is going to crash into the inhibitor on the top side. Best Player trying to fend it off, but Joy Boss with the knock-up on the Best Player. They're going to go all in for the kill. Rough Waves goes down. Best Player trying to escape the CC. Will be able to get out of there. Lord at about 50% HP, but down goes the inhibitor in the mid lane. And that is all. Inhibitors falling. BTK trying to reverse what happened in the last game that we've seen. Chicken going to find Best Player. The base crit on 25% HP. And BTK has done it. Game 1 up against the Ohio brothers.
Victory!
Dang. No feel the pill this time around. No feel the pill this time around. Honestly, looking at this, it's really hard to say. I mean, obviously Salamanca pointed out something with him, but he ended up having the MVP. Best Player, though, struggled on this Martis here. Do you feel like maybe it was the fact that he had to play so frontline for this composition to kind of work and maybe just not able to provide that? I mean, he went for a 100 strike first item as well. Knowing that they have this Diggy for Ramus combination, someone has to be able to soak up and tank things. Obviously, Milo was doing good for initiations, but you still need the front line. I think he made the job a little bit harder for himself, not just fully committing, might as well just for that full utility build.
Yeah, I personally think that they did the 2 supports. So the Fairness, like you were saying, like he didn't go damage. He ended up going support, picking up that necklace. So between the Diggy and the Fairness, they were lacking a lot of damage. I mean, you could see the Leslie was 1-1-1, didn't have enough items by this time. Should have already been fully loaded, but they weren't. So I feel like that was kind of the downfall.
I think they kind of just came a lot more prepared in the draft too, right? I mean, they forced Best Player into something that he's not really known for, and that's the fighter jungles and the tank jungles, right? We know he dominates in the assassins, but just like we say, Moba Zane kind of plays more for the beefier side. Best Player plays more for that assassin side. And when you kind of limit that from him, he just doesn't perform at that same caliber that he can in the assassins. And I think that's a good read from BTK, a tactic inside of the draft to force him in that awkward situation. And yeah, you do see a little bit of that underperformance because it forces him to frontline, right? He's trying to just go in and get a pick off and catch somebody off guard, but it's kind of hard to do with the Martis, right? You got to kind of soak up that damage. And overall, Moba Zane was comfortable. I mean, he ran with his Fredrin, which he really needed. They took Hoon's Kadito away, which was really the only thing that kind of led the way for the Ohio brothers to take that first game that we watched. So with those 2 things being stacked against them, I think that's what led to that phenomenal finish.
Phenomenal finish, and honestly, a phenomenal second restart there between Ohio and BTK. So hopefully keeping that fiery spirit moving forward. Can we see Ohio correct things? I know we made comments right about the draft kind of being a thing of the issue. Maybe find something here for best player for Carlos to be comfortable in, or at least a little more comfortable in. Maybe not go in for this double utility right in the position 4, position 5. Like me and G were saying, very limited on the damage, especially with the way they itemized the position 4 for Rammus. I really feel like they not only they got to tidy up the draft, you got to tidy up kind of how you use these champions and are interacting with these builds, because they honestly made their own selves lack a bit. If I had to say, like, the draft may not have been the best, but there was other limiting factors once we hit the land of dawn there that was imposed by themselves, some self-harm, if you will.
Definitely. And I do think that maybe TOB can pull something around. One big thing that they did change out is I think they changed out Milo for Promise. So we do see an EXP laner change, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe Chicken was just bullying too hard this time around, and maybe Promise might be able to even that field out a little bit for TOB. I feel like that is something to kind of to keep an eye on right now.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. I mean, they took that Kufra out, right? I mean, Joyboz was very comfortable. He slotted that in first in the draft, and man, he did definitely perform. Chicken also had a little bit of that presence. We mentioned that time journey going out. Chicken able to soak up a lot of that shield, even though we didn't really talk about him too much in that game. That's not always a bad thing, right? That definitely means he wasn't feeding or anything of that nature, but he's creating opportunity for the team to kind of progress without any issues. So maybe trying to find a way to shut him down in that lane. I mean, we've seen him kind of move with ease so far in the NABA, right? Nobody's been able to kind of delay him from doing anything that he wants to. He's been having like free will everywhere on the map, and maybe finding a hero with high mobility can do it. I mean, the last time we seen Chicken in a professional scene, when was the last time we seen him in the professional scene? I think it was the M series, right?
Spring for sure. Yeah, it was before spring. It's been a while.
Yeah, because he didn't play in the spring season. So the last time we really seen him was M4, right? And then I know we all remember they went up against RQ Akira back in the day, and they had Takashi. And Takashi, he ran the Benedetta up against the Chicken. And I kind of noticed the thing with Chicken. It's the high mobility heroes that you need somebody to keep up with him, because he does not stay still. He will not sit in that lane for nothing. So if you plan on running a hero that has low mobility, you pretty much can expect Chicken to win that lane against you.
I mean, optimally, that's kind of what you want. High mobility or low, you want that EXP being very active on the map. And that's something that kind of makes Chicken shine, is that he plays the XP role, or he fulfills what's needed from it so well. It doesn't matter if it was a Benedetta or if it was a Terizla. Chicken's going to be somewhere on that map where you don't want him to be. That's just the way he plays that lane and how he likes to contribute to the team. He likes to help him out nice and early in the game, and it benefits and it works out for them. But look at this. First pick on the Franco, and I was actually going to say, guys, we've had a lot of priority picks, a lot of reoccurring picks of the Franco, things like the Kadita that's been very contested. Do you feel like these teams are kind of just battling out for a few of these picks?
The falling stars.
Yeah, I mean, they really love the sustainability, not sustainability, the suppression. My bad. I looked at our lot and I was like, yeah, that's some solid sustainability over there.
It is. You're not wrong.
And then I said it, you know. But yeah, I mean, picking up the Navaria, interesting. You know, to be honest, I think every Navaria game we've seen hasn't panned out for that team.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you. Navarre has definitely been heavily focused when not banned out inside of the first phase of the draft. I mean, you can almost guarantee somebody's going to pick that up in the first half of the draft if it's not banned out. But this time, it is going to go to the side of BTK. Yato is going to pick that up. I mean, you have Zane. He's been pretty on point with the retributions. Majority of the time, he's able to get it off unless he's contested in the jungle. So with that Navaria, that's like having two junglers, right? That Astro recall, that sniper that we see get pulled out, easily helped Zane a little bit of a boost in the jungle. But speaking of boost in the jungle, looks like best player is going to get a little bit more comfortable now. He's going to let loose a little bit and pick up an assassin. He's going to go ahead and slide in that link.
Does Moba Zane go Karina and show who? And then we have an assassin off.
I say Fredrin. I think he still could go Fredrin. But he could go the Karina too for the assassin. I mean, they're both answers, Jay. I think they're great. I mean, right now we're seeing more of a damage composition. So, I mean, it could really work both ways. Does Zane solo the jungle right now? Do they try and slot in something else like a marksman before they start kind of prioritizing that and taking them down? All of them viable options. And I just can't wait to see which way it goes. But it looks like they're going to go for the roam. They're going to get Joyboz in position. Going to go ahead and lock in this Grok.
You know, I actually I can vibe with that Karina pick. I think it
I'm
would
thinking
go
it.
super well, and you know, not only because it's like a that safety, like you kind of pointed out yesterday, it's kind of like that safety pick that Zane will fall back on sometimes. Like you know, when in doubt, just Karina it out, right? But it actually plays so well into the Ling, and the fun part about it is just because of the interaction between those. So like Ling, basically everything is basic attacks for him. When he lands the Tempest Blade and he's dashing around picking up the swords, it's all basic attacks. And what we know
Yep.
about Karina is that she has that dance of blades in the skill 1, and when she's in that phase after you activate the skill, she's immune to all the basic attacks. So it's very hard for the Ling to capitalize on the Karina, and that creates this weird dynamic in the team fights where it's like, okay, well, we know for sure one of our main damage dealers can't do anything to Moba Zane here. He's literally immune to us, and then against the carry as well. Both of the damage dealers right now that have been picked up from Ohio Brothers would be pretty much ineffective, null and void, if you will, if Zane goes for that Karina pick.
Come on, Dexter. It's our show.
You think, Weezy?
I mean, those are all good answers. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it could go either way. I think the Karina is definitely a great option, but if he wants to be a little bit more sustainable, I mean, he could be a bully, right? He can run this Fredrin. You're going up against an assassin. You're going up against a single target CC tank. This is a time for you to invade the jungle. Stop best player from getting his purple buff. I think that'd be a little bit better with the Fredrin, and then not to mention it has better synergy with the Arlot, with the CC that Fredrin can provide. It's more marks for the Arlot to be able to deal damage. But I mean, when we're talking about Moba Zane, we're talking about his comfortability. Yes, you can't deny the Karina. When in doubt, Karina it out. I mean, we've been seeing it even yesterday. He pulled it out, and he did a great job. So I think it's just whatever way he goes is just going to determine the type of match we see. If you go the Fredrin, go for the invade. If you go the Karina, go for the pickoffs on the sides and catch somebody off guard in the bush.
Yeah, I mean, all great outcomes that we can possibly anticipate here. And we, from the side of BTK, they're banning out mages left and right and just targeting Hoon. Kinda. I mean, it's a little back and forth on TOB side. So I think this next pick is gonna be pretty crucial. Zane's probably not gonna pick until last because I feel like that's what they really want to solidify. Fighter wise, going up against an Arlot, do they go Uranus? Do they need more tankiness on this line because they're gonna have to really front or Ling and carry here. So and oof, basic picking up that Beatrix.
And it's a good slotting, right? It's a great defender, holds well in the lane, goes good into the carry. It really goes good into anything. That's really the main point of the selling point for Beatrix, is that she doesn't have bad matchups on paper per se. She's either going even or she's dominating. So I think it goes really well. And paired up with the Navaria there, you get the combo in. And me and Weezy was getting to cast some matches from EU earlier, looking at that combination with the runner shots and the Astral Echo and recall. Man, it's hard to deal with. But they lock in the Harith here and Hoon's hand. And that's just something I was going to wonder. They limited the pull so much in the mid lane. We were bound to see something crazy, and there it is.
And that's I agree with you. That's something crazy. We don't really see the Harith picked up in the mid lane. Typically, we see it more in the gold position. But Promise is going to lock in that Esmeralda, and there it goes. He is going to go in for that Karina. So Zane back in the assassin route. Plans to get some pickoffs on the side of the Ohio brothers. Now, guys, drafts have been finalized. Best player able to pick up an assassin, something that he's more comfortable with. Do you think it's going to change the dynamic of this game?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. They're going to be definitely really, really squishy. And Zane did pick up the Karina, which, I mean, there's 3 basic attack heroes on the field. So I don't know.
It's definitely profiting. That was so funny. He asked, and we both were just like, yeah, I don't know. But I feel really good about this. I really love the Karina pick. I know we were all talking about it, harping about it when we were having our like Doctor Strange moment, going through all the potential answers here that they could take into the composition. We got the right one here. Now we enter into the end game in between Ohio Brothers and BTK, loading in Game 2, everybody. Series 2, Day 2 of the NABA. That's the North American Battle Arena. We're so glad you tuned in with us. We got a great match underway. Weezy, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling great, but I know these teams are feeling better. I mean, right now, you're looking at BTK having an advantage, right? They took game 1, which means they are forcing the Ohio Brothers into match point. If they lose here, they will knock them down to the lower bracket. BTK will move forward on the upper side, and that'll force of the Ohio Brothers to go up against Team A, so they really need to pull through for this game and take it to a game 3.
Definitely have to take it to game 3 because that's what I want to see. You know, bars, as Weezy likes to say.
Weezy F baby.
No, I want to see what happens here. I know it's going to be an interesting playoff here in the gold lane. They're just down here admiring each other's looks while first blood goes to Chicken.
He peeled him. He peeled the banana. He peeled him alive there. They find the first blood. That's huge, though. First blood into your gold economy is very nice there for the side of BTK. And honestly, not something you want to do, especially with the composition that Ohio has. There, you can't really offer up this kind of free picks here.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what you let walk through the draft, right? I mean, you're already seeing Chicken profit on this R-Light. He did go in for the concussive blast. Definitely going to be a little bit tankier and also able to hit a little harder. And Promise needs to be careful on that matchup since he did draw first blood.
Hey, I love to see this, right? You know, like Chicken plays Esmeralda against an R-Lot now. The roles are flopped, you know, but Chicken is still bullying. It doesn't matter what EXP lane he gets. He's just going to bully you. So you just got to watch out for that. And I feel like teams really need to respond to that because the gold lane is just, they're equal, right? But Chicken is on a whole different level than most EXPs and no one really does anything about it.
You know, if he's bullying, or, you know, we're on Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Does that count as cyberbullying? Like, does that classify as cyberbullying? But speaking of bullying, Tempest of Blaze getting forced out here. One charge, and the Astral Recall connects. Wombo combo, if I ever saw one, as Salamanca will find a trade, but the fight's not done. Forcing the flicker from Baj, and there goes that backyard bully as Hoon will pick up a double, and Salam Promise will find another. Baj will go down. A lot of action just ensued out of nowhere right there.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but the banana peeled Zane right there.
Peeled his cat back blue.
Look, he did. I mean, he hooked him and pulled him right into a tower, and it was GG's.
Yeah, good play over there from the Ohio brothers, right? 3 kills unanswered, but Chicken's going to change the narrative. Is going to find best player, but now needs to go back before he finds himself in the same predicament, right? Chicken, he's definitely been having a great game. 2-1-1 so far. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't taken down Promise, but with the mistakes that have been made from the Ohio brothers, that's where he's starting to kind of profit from. But look at Jin, very low. Gina needs to get out of there. Possibly wants to recall because you can definitely smell them hunting in the air right there from the side of BTK, trying to get that pick off with that low HP.
They absolutely are. I mean, putting that pressure up there. G, how are you feeling so far about the performance between both the teams? Because it's even right now, basically. Kills and gold.
It's pretty even, but something's going down here as Banana is about to get the peel.
Yeah, he's going to get down Zane, and
a little entrance. Tempest of Blade gets forced out, not able to find anything right now. Moba Zane with the immunity, though, he gets caught out. He's on the wrong side of the tower. Cakes is going to bake him nice and slow and pick up the kill.
All these puns are getting me going. All I know, if I don't see a double MSC snipe by Basic and Yato here, I'm going to be disappointed.
The mission failed.
Yeah, that'd definitely be something interesting to see. I mean, when you have all these snipers on the field, and especially when you pair up the Beatrix with the Navari, I mean, that's one of the deadliest combinations, right? If they catch you between both of their crosshairs, it's going to burst you down, and there's not really much you can do about it. Not to mention they can easily line up onto the neutral objective and take that as well.
Speaking of the objective, falling into the favor of BTK, no one really able to contest that. He's going to pick up that turtle nice and for free. And they do still have a little bit of number of entries. They're going to go ahead. They're going to break away from the gold lane. I was wondering if maybe they're going to look for the +1.
I felt like I was in that gold lane for 7 years, man. I was just like, okay, am I ever going to change the camera angle? Like, it's making my job easy, but it's okay.
We're going right back down there.
I see. Round 7.
There goes Wild Charge from Joy Boss, not going to hit the mark, and now the punish. Numerous patch from Basic, trying to keep him alive, but the Bloody Hunt having other plans, and Banana, again, he's gonna peel that banana over there and take down Joy Boss.
It was definitely a spill down there in the lane, and honestly, did it feel like the Nibiru's passion did any damage? Were those bullets or a stream of confetti coming out of Basic's weapon? That was kind of troll there.
And Basic was looking a little rough, definitely in that bottom lane, and now TOB is looking to respond, but they actively back off. So
looking for the snipe. He hit him. He hit him. He hit him. The HP bar fell. He connected with Gen Cakes right in his face.
What
man.
What we need to see though here is best players really underperforming, and I need to see kind of what items he's building so far. He has that Wind Talker, so he has the attack speed, but he needs to get that crit. Once he gets the Berserker's Fury, I think best player might be able to do something. But again, we need Banana needs to get a little bit more vision, as that is the first turret to go down in almost, what, 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, first turret to fall in 6.5 minutes, and I think you're right on the dot, right? We've been having, oh my goodness, gonna snatch Joyboss's soul with that iron hook, but it's not really gonna phase him. But I think you're right with best player. We haven't really been seeing him kind of lead the way so far. He has been having a little bit of a harder time getting online for his team. I mean, he did get the assassin, something he's more comfortable with, but here we go. Concealed play has been called in. Chicken isn't that quick. They're gonna go in for the Bloody Hunt stun onto Yato, but he's gonna offer out Chicken with the but it doesn't matter. Tips of Blades from best player is gonna find the kill. Chicken very low, not gonna be able to defend, and they are gonna be able to claim this turret for the bottom side.
See, and this is the thing that I was talking about. The Navaria, though it peels and pokes pretty well, it's kind of failing right now, but it's a good response. Almost takes that mid tower on TOB.
Basic's in a bit of trouble. You can see best player has his eyes on him, finds him. Venice Rage is going to come down, but it's too late. Salamanca in a 1v3 situation. He's getting dropped low. He's going to be able to survive through the wild charge. The bit of shield helping him out there.
Bit of shield. And then I also have to kind of point out here, both, you know, best player might not be having his best game, but neither is Zane. Zane is 1-3-2, having a little bit of a trouble here. Keyboy as well. Now TOB kind of taking the battle into BTK's jungle.
Yeah, it's funny. It's literally like a battle between Hoon and a battle between Chicken right now, as they're leading in terms of kills for their team. I mean, Hoon, he's been performing really well, right? We've seen him do good on that Kadita, and the same story for this Hereth, who you don't traditionally see in the mid lane, but there goes the Concealed Blade, Bloody Hunt that we were looking for. The suppression on the Chicken, and Hoon is going to get the kill, but now the dive in asks for the additional damage. Finish rate drops down from Basic, dropping bombs. Joyboss is going to find, goes to Banana. Hoon did fall in that trade as well, but Chicken fell for BTK.
They were able to get a piece of the Chicken, but that's not all. They got a couple sides with it too. Got a biscuit, some mac and cheese, and it was too much for him. Put him in a food comatose as the response came back from the opposing side. And now, seeing members group up here for the mid, but best player, he's using that Ling effectively. They're all grouped up, so he's gonna go ahead and open up the map a bit. Maybe force some responses. He actually maybe potentially could find that tower. No, Moba Zane's gonna go ahead and respond there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good play. I mean, best player, he knows that he needs to utilize the Ling to its full advantage, which is his mobility. Split push like no tomorrow. Same thing with Esmeralda. If you keep split pushing on both lanes, it's just going to keep BTK constantly running around. Banana kind of hooking for the wilds there, as this First Lord is up.
First Lord is up, and I think something interesting is Banana picked up the
immortality
super early, so he's gonna be able to come back to life. But I guess maybe he wants another Bloody Hunt. Zane is gonna find Promise though in the battle inside of the Lord Pit is on the way. Finds a double, finds Banana. Even the immortality can't save him. Zane's still going for more. Basic is gonna find Gina. Super Blade drops down, best player trying to get a kill. You're gonna see Basic find Hoon, but Zane is gonna fall to best player. Chicken gonna take them best player as a response, and Joyboss is gonna recall on top of his body. We are gonna see the Lord still intact and a full wipeout for the Ohio brothers.
I'm blaming the immortality on that. I just think if they didn't have the immortality, they win the fight. No, just playing. But honestly, so strange. But BTK capitalizing, able to take out all the members there, a full wipeout. But yeah, man, just back to those items, because I was actually about to talk about, you know, best player finally picking up those 3 core items that he needed for the Ling to really start profiting. But what was the decision for the immortality? And he still has it. He died, and he could have sold it, maybe get a real item, something usable, something valid here, but he's holding on to it. What is this?
It beats me, man. It beats me. I can only imagine it just once. I think he's just trying to be annoying at this point, you know, like that split
Oh, yeah.
second that they have to decide if they want to continue to keep going for the immortality. Do they? You know what I mean? That might give the team a little bit of time for the hair to pop off or the carry to pop off. That's the only thing that I can possibly think. It also keeps them at bay for all of these split pushes that we constantly keep seeing. But Zane and Chicken, dynamic duo.
Are going to fight it out. Zane is going to find Promise. Best player with the Simpson Blades is going to be able to escape the wrath of Zane on this Karina. But look,
top side.
Top side is still on the way. Speedy Lightwheels goes down with the suppression from Banana. Tina going to peel his cap back. He's going to go and shut down Joy Bosch.
Feel the pill. Finally redeems himself just a little bit finding that kill. But I have to say, you know, hey, he is annoying people, but it's me and the rest of the team. But Salamanca, he's going to get bursted out. There goes the Astral Echo. They have vision on Jin Cates. There's no one around him right now. Charging up the runner shot, but they go for the banana. He wants his fruits. They're going for the Lord as well. Jin Cakes needs to be careful. Chicken has his eye on him. He can look to set up something here. Connects the stun final slash. Will they capitalize? Beatrice trying to do a bit of damage. Best player trying to commit. Not going to be able to find Tips of Blade, but he's 1 HP. Chicken into the thick of things with the vengeance. Now he's low as well. Is anyone going to fall here? All that action. Nobody's dropping. Just the Lord getting picked up.
Hey, this is the time that BTK is going to utilize this Lord to its full advantage. You know, I mean, BTK's definitely got the gold lead, but now it's just going to snowball. If TOB is going to have to do some split pushing here, and that is kind of what looks like they want, but BTK is kind of anticipating that because he can't split push the Lord, but he tried split pushing the other lane here. TOB really needs a great defense to keep this game going.
Oh
my God.
Oh no.
On the best player. He is going to finch poise out of there and use his Tempest of Blades as well. A good escape. That could have definitely ended out a whole different way, but he is going to go ahead and burst down this Lord. So talk about some good movement over there from best player. But right now, they're still at a deficit. 13-12. BTK still having control of this game.
It's definitely it's definitely a good game here. Go ahead, Quirky.
Oh nah, man, I was gonna jump and thought the action going on, but right now they're definitely in a bit of a pit. I mean, 5-2 on towers. The map is clearly in favor of BTK, and they've been making it known. I mean, if you're able to make the Ling uncomfortable, you're definitely doing a lot of things right. They're hitting him with the Astral Recall, which I think is insane to be able to accurately hit him. If he wasn't playing Ling, if he was on any other pick, best player would absolutely be a little higher in the KDA. And look at that, the snipes for Navaria. It's so annoying, so annoying.
Yeah, she's definitely doing damage now. Yato using the full ability, but everybody concealed here. Keyboy going in.
Astral Echo does go down. Wild Crash from Joybot's gonna knock them up, but not able to find the kill. A very close call, though. You can just tell. Just look at the execution. In the blink of an eye, BTK, one sudden movement together in a beehive mentality, almost able to wipe out the full team of the Ohio brothers.
One band, one sound, they say, and they're definitely moving to the beat of their own drums. Down on the bot side, best player. He's gonna be revealed here. He's gonna have the final slash. I knew it. You gotta be careful. Check those quarters, brother.
Man down! Man down!
Man down, man down. Another pick, but it's onto the other side. Low HP. They need to be careful. They know the snipes can come at any moment. Moba Zane, Shadow Assault over the wall. He's trying to find the kill. He's still on the chase here. He came to look for the Shadow Blade. He's going to pick it up. Killing spree from Moba Zane on the Karina. He is performing right now.
Definitely performing, and now they're going to have full range of this Lord for only 5 seconds as best player's coming up. Let's see if he has the fast fingers to maybe get in there and make a decision. But it could also smell bad for TOB if he does decide to dive in. So we'll see what they decide.
Yeah, they couldn't even find a way in there right now, and you got to admire their patience, right? They know not to be overly aggressive. Right now, BTK in a great position to possibly close this out, as you are going to be seeing this Lord make his way in the mid lane, and they're stacking up for an engagement, possibly even earlier onto this purple buff, but it looks like best player was able to get that, use this retribution for it.
I don't know. We'll see. Lord is going to be crashing here. is should be a luminous lore too, so it's gonna be doing a lot of damage as full BTK is coming in. Can still play. Kind of just
And they got
zoning them out.
everyone. Everybody's revealed, but look, Iron Hook not gonna be able to connect. Nice wild charge in the final slash. And they're looking to take things down. Salamanca trying to find a kill. Best player has his eyes on someone. He's gonna dive into the full team. Tips the blades. He's looking for basic, but you've been outplayed, sir. Taking him down. He's gonna join us on the casters. That's number advantage for BTK and 2 waves to play with. They're gonna look to find the high ground tower down on the bot side of the map. No choice but to give it up from the side of Ohio. And if BTK has anything else to say, they might make him give up a little bit more. They haven't stopped just yet, but the hook! Be careful, Immortality will be pop chicken. Still gonna be the tower basic. Takes down Salamanca. 2 members are missing. Gen Cakes, though, will find the trade. Another wild charge will lead to a pick off. Akani, BTK, can they get it done? With the hook over the wall, he's isolated. The base is low, but the bloody hunt is strong. They're not able. Can they defend it? It's 1 HP. They're able to take it down. What a whirlwind of activity. BTK in spectacular fashion will close this nail biter out.
Wow. That was nail biting. That was nail biting. Did you? Joy Bosch was just back there beating the with the grok, beating the back of the inhibitor, hoping for the best.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Holy Weezy, what are you thinking?
Well, I think BTK, they did a great job. They almost lost that. I mean, there was a split second. If they would have been able to burst them down, like they could have turned that back around. But nonetheless, the execution was flawless, right? I think being able to take down, Harith over there, finding Hoon last second and bursting him down in the midst of all that chaos for that inhibitor or that base crystal definitely was the game changer and the decider to close that out. So that is going to be BTK sending the Ohio brothers down to the lower bracket. We will be seeing them go up against Team Ace. So they're not knocked out yet, right? That just means they're going to the lower bracket.